So let's talk about parents and effectively what that means because of this update. And it's straightforward, really. You take an UMA, you run a schedule of race, and as long as you make sure that they can run mile, medium, long, and dirt races, this will work on any UMA in the game. And we can also get things like Triumphant Pulse on Christmas Oak Recap, where previously we wouldn't be able to because we would need base affinity to help us reach something like 150, which is a double circle. With all that out of the way, let's dive into why we want affinity to be as high as possible in the game, and also what UMAs would be considered good parents and grandparents, as well as how many sparks you would need to do dirt races and mile races on UMAs that have an E aptitude in mile and dirt. So if we use TM Opera O as an example, we can see that she has an E in dirt and mile, which means that in order for her to win races on dirt and mile, she would at least need a C in dirt and potentially a C in mile. But we know how tricky it can be to win when you have an aptitude of C, so it would be ideal to make it B instead of C. But obviously that is as long as you've got the sparks on your parents and grandparents, then you should hopefully be able to at least get them to C so that she can at least run and potentially win dirt and mile races. So what UMAs will be good for this? The obvious two examples would be El Condor Pasa and Ogre Cap. You could also do this with Agnes Digital, but she would need long spark. You can also do it with Inari 1, and I believe she needs 1 or 2 mile sparks in order to make sure that she can consistently win mile races. Another set of UMAs that will be good to use as grandparents and parents after this update will be Special Week, Biwa Hayahide, Narita Top Road when she releases on Global, Kimberly Rudolph, Nice Nature, Kitizen Black, Saiyan Sky, TM Opera O, Narita Bryan, and Mihono Bourbon. There are obviously other UMAs such as Measure Orion and Measure Doba, but the core of your grandparents will be made up of these 7, 8, 9 UMAs when we train for Champions Meeting and later on in League of Heroes. So now we've picked a trainee and we pick a scenario. The ideal is we go into Track Blazer because we are able to do multitudes of G2s and G3s, pick up skills for mile, medium, dirt, encloser, late surger, pace chaser, front runner, and then at the end of the scenario, hopefully we're able to pick up as many skills within that distance or strategy as we can, and hopefully it sticks at the end. If it doesn't, well, we just keep going until we get the skills that we initially set out to get, and if we do, then we can either borrow a parent on Chronogenesis or create a second parent if you're so inclined to do so, and then when it's time to build the ace for the Champions Meeting, whichever that is, then hopefully you've got upwards of 400 affinity to get the majority of skills, uniques, possibly even dirt, turf, medium, long, mile, pinks, so that you can make the best possible Uma. And if you have a parent that's got a lot of skills, desired pinks and desired blue sparks, then hopefully you've got it as your profile borrow, and I might be able to get it on Chronogenesis and everyone else in the community. So yeah, that's basically how we should be making parents going forward. Nothing really changes outside of what scenario we use to create either the parent or the grandparent. I would wager that once Grandmasters comes out, that we replace Trackblazer with Grandmaster, and potentially maybe even later scenarios to power creep the Grandmaster scenario until we get to possibly Design Your Island. I know that in Japan currently that they're using the onsen scenario to create their parents, especially when Beyond Dreams was out. I'm not sure if it's changed because of the ramen shop one, but we'll see when we get there, I guess. So that's everything starting with the parents. I may make a second part of this explaining decks, cards, skills you might want to pick up, but we'll see. If there's any questions in the comments, I might answer them in a different video or just answer them in the replies. But yeah, thanks for watching, and enjoy URA and Unity Cup 2.0. Hope you've got pulls ready for Marozensky. If you're not, then you can just select her and crystal her, and then you're off to the races in Grand Live. So take care and see you later.